What is up, you beauties? My name is BatchatBegins, and welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone enjoyed that Big Boss stream last night. If you did tune in, thank you for coming to hang out. It was a pretty fun time. We will hopefully have another one of those Big Boss Mode streams coming out today. I'd like to try and do some of the games with my subscribers if possible. But the biggest thing is we're going to get in today's video topic, and that is that there are 2 free tanks that are available in the store if you have been playing tournaments. Now, each year you get season coins, and that's for how many of these tournaments that you've participated in. You know, I've participated in quite a few tournaments over the season, and because of that, I was able to get myself 2 of these Take 8 into Battle bundles. I got almost 30 days, 28 days of premium time total. 2 of these very nice camos, as you can see. You know, the plasma grid camouflage, it does give you that animated effect look on your tank. It looks very nice. I haven't decided what I'm going to use them on yet, but we'll be doing that soon. And you get 20 of these ×3 boosters, which has been very nice for grinding, and 2 of these tier 8 tank research certificates, which you can combine, and 100 gold boosters, which has boosted my gold up to a very nice amount at the moment, sitting at 5.2k. Still have a few more to use, but I'll be getting those taken care of this week. But the main focus of today's video is going to be the 2 tanks that you can get here for the event. And obviously the Type 62 is a classic. It is an absolute powerhouse at tier 7. It's been that way for a few years now. You also get the legendary camouflage for the dragon. It comes fully equipped, and you also get a bonus garage slot. And with the T-4485, you get its legendary camo as well, the bravery camouflage, and this is a pretty good tank overall as well. So we'll take a quick look into the statistics of these tanks and then hop into a couple of games in them. First of all, with the dragon, obviously got a pretty poor HP pool and not much armor to speak of whatsoever, but very good view range at 302, and also decent camo on the move. But where the tank really shines is the gun, the DPM at 2500, you know, with that really short reload time, and it's got 250 heat pen. If you do use calibrated shells, you can get it all the way up to 275. It is a very, very solid premium shell for a tier 7 tank. But with, you know, that 200 alpha damage, you're definitely chipping away very, very easily at the enemies. It's got kind of a decent gun, you know, decent aim time, decent dispersion. But I wouldn't say that you should go around trying to snap any shells anytime soon. You know, make sure to aim, try to, you know, make sure that your gun counts. And as far as the gun, when it comes to gun depression, it's not that great, 7 degrees, but it is workable. Also, this tank is very, very fast, coming in at 60 kilometers per hour top speed with a power to rate ratio of 23. As you can see up at the top, my consumables, my provisions, my ammo, as per normal. With this tank, I do want rammer because, you know, 250 heat pen is good enough for tier 8s in my opinion. Also, as per usual, channel standard with the engine accelerator. So we're going to go ahead and get into our first game of the day here, and Flossie is playing the Type 62 with myself platooned up with another Type 62 here on Mayan Ruins. And I can tell you this tank is great at repositioning. Unfortunately, in this game, I accidentally got, you know, a little bit sidetracked. I focused a little bit too much on the enemy, and I didn't notice that they were pushing really, really aggressive at the C-cap. And you'll see Flossie does a good job to escape that danger here because he does have good map awareness. I was a little bit tired, you know, we just finished the Big Boss stream, so ended up being a little bit too tunnel visioned in my own game. And so you're going to see Flossie plays it a bit better than I do in this instance. That's why I wanted to highlight this for you guys. But what we're doing right here is we're just kind of trying to take some preliminary spots, just trying to see where we can go, what we can do. And unfortunately for me, I thought this LTTB was AFK, so I did go ahead and go down to start 1v1ing him. Flossie does a good job, though, of keeping his eye on the team. And as you can see, I didn't. I was being very aggressive with the LTTB, and I didn't notice that both of their Annihilators and their other light tank were pushing in from the B-cap. Flossie did give me ample warning of this, but unfortunately, you know, I got a little bit too sidetracked trying to kill the LTTB and win this side of the map. And so the good thing for him to do at this point would be either to run down and away or go up onto the bridge to go ahead and get out of there. Because unfortunately at the moment our Hellcat is dying and their Hellcat is rushing in very, very quickly to come and take me out, which he does. And Flossie does a good job. He uses the bridge for the exit, and right now he's just going to go ahead and focus on their only isolated target, that being the Tiger 1 at the moment. Now, the 62, some of the downsides for the 62, its AP pen is very, very poor, only sitting in at about 140. Now, that can deal very well with the, you know, the sides and rear of same tier heavy tanks, but when you start talking about tanks like the IS-3, the IS-6, Object 252U. I mean, those tanks are absolutely deadly for this tank. So it's best to try and play this sort of mid to back line, only frontlining when it's against same or lower tier mediums and light tanks. You know, when you're coming to heavy tanks, you obviously want to position yourself farther back, and that's what Flossie is doing. He's letting the rest of his team take the attention of the enemy tanks, and what he's doing is just picking them apart one by one thanks to that. And because of that, he's able to take out the Tiger 1 and the T-37 very, very easily, and now he's going to start focusing on the Annihilator. And once again, you can see that substandard AP pen is not too great. And I like what Flossie's doing here, because the team has the initiative now with all of the health that they have. He is able to go ahead and put in some shells into the Annihilator for basically free. And now that he's brought that guy down to a one-shot, it looks like he can trust his team enough to go ahead and finish him off, which means that he can go ahead and focus on the Comet at the moment. Now, that 7 degrees of gun depression showing how it's very limiting, but obviously Flob does a good job, rhymed a little bit, Flossie does a good job of taking him out and getting down here to assist the team in finishing off the final Annihilator. I'd say a very good job in repositioning from Flossie here. You know, obviously I bought it out early with, you know, sticking to my guns and trying to hold that side, but he did a very good job of showing what the strong suits of the Type 62 are. So that was a very good game there. Just shy of 4,000 damage, sitting in at 3965. Gets himself a Mastery Badge, Top Gun, and a High Caliber Medal. And you can see I didn't do too bad, but definitely could have done better to assist the team in the end, because we definitely had some teammates that got absolutely destroyed early on, and that was pretty tragic for us. But we did manage to defeat a double Annihilator platoon. Now, the second tank that you can get in the bundle for the season coins is the T-3485. And while I do think that it's an alright tank, it's definitely a tank that struggles when it gets down tiered. This tank has very, very bad pen. Only sitting in at about 154 when you're using calibrated, and only 210 if you're not running the calibrated shells on the premium ammo. Now, I will say I only run rammer on this because 220 is just not going to cut it. Even with calibrated shells, it's not going to cut it. So you might as well cut your losses if you don't have enough pen like this, and just run rammer to go ahead and bully people that you know you can bully. Now, what's important about the 4485 is basically just the gun. You know, the gun is its only real good characteristic. 2600 DPM, 4.6 second reload time, really, really shit pen, but decent average damage, and a decent, you know, aim time and dispersion, about the same as the Type 62. But the thing is about the 62, it goes way faster. It goes 60, and this thing can only go 52 with a decent power to weight ratio coming in at 22 power per ton. Now, I run basically the same equipment on both of these. You know, obviously this thing still, you know, even has worse view range than the Type 62. So overall, I would say if you're looking to get either one of these with your season coins, definitely go for the 62. But we're going to go ahead and show you what this tank can do here in the replays, playing the T-4485 here on Naval Frontier. And you're going to see that basically the biggest thing to do with this tank is, you know, play to the side that's weaker. You know, rush in, deal with tanks that are being overwhelmed already, and use that DPM to actually make a difference on those sides. Now, do I like this tank? Not really. I mean, it's pretty average in most aspects. It's not that fast, its gun's pretty mediocre. The only reason you would buy this is if you already had a Type 62 and didn't want the other bundle that gives you the gold boosters. And honestly, you're getting a pretty mediocre tank for all intents and purposes. If you really want a different tier 7 that's kind of like this, I would highly recommend that you wait until like a Smasher or the Annihilator's back out. But just going to show you the DPM on this tank, and obviously we can't hit the T-25-2. A little bit frustrated about that shot, but at this point I'm going to go ahead and try to use my adrenaline on somebody while I still can, that being the FV201. We used our third-person camera to look over the wall just to see where he was looking so we didn't get farmed. And it looks like at this point our team's getting kind of folded on this side. Definitely don't want to stay where we're going to lose. So I told Flossie I'm going to go ahead and push up and try and take out this T-25-2. And then after that, we can try and deal with the Smasher. Now, I should have hugged the wall a bit more closely because the Smasher obviously did have a shot on me. Go ahead and auto-aim the T-25-2. And while we have the chance, we're just going to go ahead and do that maneuver you saw in the last video with the WZ-120, and that is the side hug maneuver, where we get in really close to him and he can't depress his gun down enough, meaning that he's not going to be able to shoot us. Now, if he did reverse his tank onto the wall there, he would have had enough gun depression because he would have artificially increased it. You know, obviously, I told you guys about this in the last video too. If you shove your tank onto a wall, the opposite side will gain more gun depression because of that. Now, at this point, we did go ahead and take out the Smasher with the fairly effective DPM. I'm going to try and get a shot into the 41, but unfortunately, that was my fault for sure because the shell speed on AP is rather slow. If you didn't know, APCR usually does have a lot faster shell speed. Probably should have loaded that to go ahead and take that guy down. Now, at this point, obviously, like I said, you want to overwhelm the enemies, and that's what we're trying to get in here and do. Trying just to get behind the T-34-100 and the T-43, making it a little difficult for them to focus on one side at one time. And thanks to that, their T-34-100 does go down. We take him out, and we hit the adrenaline, just going ahead and reloading, doing our best to go ahead and take down this medium tank. I wanted to go ahead and get the ram in here on the stair. Obviously, he's definitely going to kill me if he has that third shell, but it looks like he might have wasted his reload, maybe not reloaded earlier. So thankfully, we do go ahead and take him out, netting ourselves just about 3k damage in this tank. And I can tell you, you know, from playing this tank, it's fun, but it's definitely not one of those tanks you play to win in and to grind credits in, because it's definitely going to get up-tiered. You know, this thing against a 252U is not going to be fun. So definitely would recommend driving the Type 62 over the T-34-85. This is just a staple of the game, and honestly is still strong to this day. The 4485 might be a newer tank, but it's definitely not a better tank in my opinion. But nevertheless, if you like it, then go ahead and grab it. It is a very good deal in the store because both of the tanks are free. Plus, if you already have both of them, like myself, you can go ahead and get that other bundle, get yourself some gold boosters and some XP boosters to go ahead and grind your future tanks. With that being said, it has been your boy BatchatBegins. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.